Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Samso33 here, and welcome to my Pokemon TCG show that's not mix up, back to reality, the show where we're not being stupid and making crazy rogue decks that never work. So yeah, today's episode is of course on the Pokemon TCG National Championships, which just happened a week ago or so, or something like that. I think it was two, I don't know, it was a while ago, and it's over. And yeah, it was definitely an interesting event. I had 306 championship points before the event, so between Nationals and the Last Chance for Championship Points tournament, I might actually be able to get my invite. So, let's check out the report and see how I did.
Nationals, the biggest and probably funnest event of the year. But being the best event of the year, it comes with a price. And that price is 13 hours of driving, split up into 2 days. Funny enough, most of what I did was listen to Pokemon songs from the albums To Be a Master and Pokemon the First Movie on my iPod. Quite fitting if I do say so myself. We get there on Thursday afternoon, wait in our room for a few hours, and head down to registration. At registration, there were 2 lines, one for people who pre-registered, and one for people who didn't. The longer of those lines by far was the pre-registered one. You'd think that preparing as much as possible would be a good thing, right? Nope. After getting my shirt, that's not quite as awesome as last year's, I head down to the vendors. This time, along with Troll and Toad and Collector's Cash, was the Top Cut Central. The new vendor didn't have much to offer in terms of cards, but they did have really cheap Ultra Ball sleeves. Overall, I think Collector's Cash had the best ultra rare prices and the most swag, but they didn't have any trainers for sale. Top Cut Central and Troll and Toad were pretty even on trainer prices. After the vendors, I went to the open gaming room. I met up with my Pokebeach friends and tested out the 2 decks I was thinking of playing. Darkrai with Gold Potion and Zekrom Buffalon Electric. Not what you were expecting, were you? Plasma was my 3rd choice, but I felt like it didn't have that many great matchups, and everyone would be countering it. From what I saw in the open gaming room, Darkrai seemed like the most popular, but Blastoise and Plasma were close behind. Not too much got the tail in sight. Darkrai has slightly favorable matchups against Plasma and Blastoise, but I hated mirror matches, which is why I added Gold Potion as my ace spec. Obviously, Night Spear would be 2-shotting you most of the time, and along with Mr. Mime, Gold Potion basically wipes your opponent's last attack completely off the board. In testing, you feel like a turn behind when you draw the card. You think, man, if this was computer search, I would be so far ahead in this game. But when you think about it, Gold Potion slows your opponent down a turn too. I wanted to give myself an edge over other Darkrai decks, and I think Gold Potion did the trick. It also helps against Plasma if they attack into you with Thundurus and Deoxys. Hopefully Enhanced Timer will slow their Curums down enough for that thing not to one-shot your Darkrai's. Now there's Zekrom Buffalon Electric. I'm planning on doing a mix-up video on this deck, so I won't go too much into detail. You might be thinking, what does this even do? Well, a few things. I liked the idea of using Blastoise or Rails for a while, but things like Absol and Kyurem just throw your prize trades way off. Their non-EXs one-shotting your EXs while you only get 1 prize for killing them? Not good. So I tried to think of a way to counter these 2 in Blastoise and Rails, and I realized that there really was nothing. All the non-EX attackers seem to only do 120, and if it does more, it's probably an EX. Things like Zekrom can take out Absol, but not Kyurem. Zekrom EX can one-shot Kyurem, but that's an EX, so why wouldn't I just use Rails again? Zekrom EX can also almost one-shot EXs, but it's 30 damage short, and Kyurem is 10 short of KOing Kyurem. It's just impossible to trade prizes with Kyurem. But then it hit me. A card that could add 30 or 10 more damage. Hypnotoxic Laser. Now everything starts to come together. Zekrom now trades prizes with Kyurem, and once you've taken out those pesky Kyurems and Absols, you can use Zekrom EX plus Laser to sweep through their EXs. With its huge 180 HP, it will probably get a few hits in before it dies. But where does Buffalon come in? Buffalon is mostly there as a way to trade prizes well with EXs without having to use Laser, as well as a Pokemon that can be powered up with 2 energy. Even though I really liked the deck, it has an above average Darkrai matchup and Plasma matchup. It's a little inconsistent, and having to start with Dynamo in an event like Nationals is just terrifying. I was also a little scarred from playing Zekrom Eels after last Nationals. Darkrai was more consistent, and I had also tested it more. So, I made my decision. I was playing Darkrai. I get back to the hotel room, and I decide to play a few chess games with my mom before I go to bed. I reach into my bag to find my deck, and... wait, what? No. No. My deck wasn't there. My Darkrai deck just wasn't there. I checked all around the room, in my bag, checked all my deck boxes, retraced my steps, including all the wrong ways I went to get back to the hotel room, went to the lost and found of the convention center, the Nationals area, and the hotel room I was staying at. I even posted it on Poke Beach in their Nationals thread, but nothing. It was gone. 4 catchers, 3 Darkrai's, 4 Sableye, 2 Absol, 2 Keldeos, an N full art, 4 laser, 2 Burbank, 4 and 3 more, and it's Gold Potion, Computer Search, 10 Arc Energy, gone! All gone! I couldn't believe it. The deck I was playing at the biggest event of the year was gone. I had no words. None. I went to bed hoping it would turn up at the convention center the next day. When I woke up the next day, you could imagine how nervous I was. On the way down to the event, I'm walking alongside a guy named Scott Evans. I recognized him from my local area. We were talking for a while, and eventually my deck getting lost came up in the conversation. He was kind enough to lend me 3 Darkrai's and 3 Sableyes. I know I said 4 Sableyes earlier, but the 4th one was just an extra card that I kept in my deck box. I couldn't thank him enough for that. Once I got down there, I asked around about the deck, but still nothing. So I've pretty much just given up hope. I have to buy most of the trainers at the vendors again, like Random Receiver, Dark Claw, Enhanced Hammer, Gold Potion, as well as 1 Absol. And because catchers, lasers, and supporters cost way too much nowadays, I sadly had to take the cards from my mom's plasma deck. She couldn't play at the event. Honestly, that was probably the worst part about this. She says she didn't mind, but I know she did. At least she still got her Nationalist shirt. So here's the list I ended up using. The deck may be a bit too spread out, as it tries to encompass all the elements from all possible Darkrai builds. I originally had 1 Burbank and 2 Keldeo, because I feared Gothitail so greatly, but I didn't think I'd see all that much Gothitail after checking the open gaming room, and that second Burbank is needed against Blastoise to counter their Tropical Beach. One odd choice was the 2 Colress and 1 Bianca. Bianca's weak draw power just wasn't cutting it for me, and as I think I've said before, Colress is almost always good after both players have taken a turn or two. So I go to wait at my seat with all the other kids named Sam or Sammy, chat about decks, the metagame, and how cool everyone's deck boxes were. After a very long wait, pairings finally get posted. Round 1 I'm against Ian Whiten with Gothitail as Selgor. Ah, great. It's last year all over again. I mulligan 4 times, and on my 5th hand I draw 2 Sableyes. He wins the coin flip and starts with a Gothita. He plays Level Ball and grabs another Gothita, puts Floatstone on each, and passes, without playing a supporter. I assume he's holding Rare Candy Gothitail, since he had 10 plus cards in his hand. I'm not able to end him sadly, but I am able to attach to the active and Juniper away 2 Dark. I hit a Dark Patch, but no attackers to put the energy on, so I put it on Sableye, since they probably wouldn't be able to play items for the rest of the game. I also chose to use Confuse Ray instead of Junk Hunt for the same reason. Sure enough, on his turn he plays Rare Candy Gothitail, as well as a Gothita. Afterward, he plays N, gets a Mew and DCE, but no Shelmet, so he passes. I get an Absol, and an energy on the Absol off the M, but no supporter or energy, so I confuse Red again, hoping these will rack up for some halfway decent damage. After playing some supporters, he finally gets a Shelmet out, as well as a Beach, and promptly uses it. I still have nothing, and have way too many items in my hand to Beach, so I confuse Ray again. From there, he gets an Accelgord out and deck and covers my Sableye. With a handful of items, I can't draw into Keldeo, and I get hit by deck and cover after deck and cover. Still no Keldeo, but he finally draws Dusknoir, and I really don't have any hope from there. Nothing I can do about that one. 0-1. Let's hope this isn't a blowout like last year, shall we? Round 2 was against someone named Ben, with Blastoise, Keldeo, Kyurem, Plasma Storm, Garchomp. Having a negative record, running into a less than good deck is fairly likely, and even though this isn't the worst deck you're going to come across, it's definitely not going to get a positive record. This game was pretty much just what you'd expect. He got a few KOs, but I got rid of his Blastoise and his energy, and it was all over from there. This is also the first and probably last time that I will witness someone Skyla for Silent. 1-1. Round 3 was against someone I can't remember with the traditional Blastoise list with Keldeo and Blackbeard. He doesn't get going for a few turns. I'm able to attach a Dark Claw to my Sableye and Confuse Ray his Squirtle, which might come in handy later. I also get a few energy on my attackers. I finally get a real hit in after a few turns, which was a Mind Jack for 130 on a Keldeo. Next turn, I hit another Keldeo with Night Spear, and hitting the Keldeo last turn for 30. On his following turn, he's finally able to use Black X to KO my Darkrai. Then I use Absol with Catcher, Laser, and Dark Claw to KO his only Blastoise, but he still has that Squirtle with 30 damage on it. On his turn, he evolves the Squirtle into Blastoise, puts 3 energy on the Keldeo with 160, as well as putting 3 more energy on the Black Kyurem, putting it up to 4, and KOs my Absol with Secret Sword. On my turn, I end him down to 1, and I use another Darkrai to Catcher and Laser his Blastoise to knock it out, with the help from that 30 damage Sableye did to it at the beginning, and hit the Keldeo with 160 on it for 3 prizes. Since he still has 4 energy on the Black Kyurem, he attaches another 1 to it, and Black Ballista's my Darkrai. Now, the only energy I have left is 1 on that Sableye with the Dark Claw. All he has left on the field is the Black Kyurem and the Keldeo with 90 damage on it. I play a Catcher and a Laser on the Keldeo and Junk Hunt for the Catcher and Laser. Now, if he can't get another Keldeo, it dies from poison when my next turn ends. And even if he does, he also needs an end, because I can Catcher again, Laser it, and Confuse Ray to knock it out. A Tropical Beach or Tool Scrapper would also give him more time. But he can't hit any of that, and I'm on my way to a positive record, 2-1. Round 4 was against another Blastoise Keldeo Black Kyurem deck. This Blastoise gets a much faster start, getting a Blastoise out within the first 3 turns, and actually getting the first knockout on my Absol with Secret Sword. On my turn, I use Night Spear for 90, and I hit his Blastoise for 30. Then he gets a Black Kyurem out, and Black Ballista's my Darkrai, putting me down 3 prizes against the Blastoise deck. Usually you have to get a fast start against Blastoise, but it was far past winning the early game race. Currently he has only 1 Squirtle and 1 Blastoise out, and that Blastoise has 30 damage on it. So on my turn, I Catcher the Blastoise and hit it with Mind Jack for 80, putting it at 110. On his turn, he pumps up his Black Kyurem again, but can't get the energy to retreat Keldeo, so he Tropical Beaches. Now I have an opportunity. I Catcher his Squirtle and use Night Spear to KO the Squirtle and the Blastoise. He discarded his other 2 Squirtles earlier, so now he's in trouble. He still has 4 energy on his Black Kyurem, so he attaches to his Keldeo that has 1 energy, now 2, as well as 120 damage on it, and uses Black Ballista, putting him at 1 prize. All he needs now is a Catcher and an energy to knock out my Sableye on the bench, but he's played 3 Catchers and a Dowsing Machine already, so he may not have it. I proceed to play an N, and Night Spear the Black Kyurem for 90, and hit the Keldeo with 120, putting it at 150. And I guess that Night Spear also knocked out the Black Kyurem EX or something, because I'm pretty sure that put me down to 2 prizes. On his turn, he attaches to Keldeo and Junipers, and he extends his hand because he didn't have a Catcher left in his deck. I'm a bit confused how I got my 3rd and 4th prizes, but I'm pretty sure I would have won even if I hadn't hit that Black Kyurem early in the game. 3-1. Round 5 was against someone else I can't remember. Sorry with the names, guys. I really just cannot remember any of them. With Darkrai. This one is pretty boring. He just doesn't draw supporters or much energy. The nail in the coffin was when he Night Spears my Darkrai, thinking it's a knockout, but it's actually at 170. Which was thanks to Gold Potion, by the way. 4-1. Round 6 was against someone I can't remember with Zekrom Buffalon Electric. It seems someone had the same idea I had, but was actually 4-1 with it. All I know is this was a bad matchup for Darkrai, so I'm a little scared when he mulligans and reveals an Electric and DCE. The worst part about this was that he just didn't draw a supporter for so long. His Zekrom can't do much with Outrage because he fills his bench and I Mind Jack it for a knockout. He can't power up Buffalon because I always Enhanced Hammer his DCEs away. After I'm 4 prizes up, he builds up some Buffalons and starts taking prizes, but it wasn't enough to come back, and I take my last 2 prizes with relative ease. 5-1. Round 7, hey guys, I actually remember this guy's name! It's Orin. Well, our first familiar face of the tournament, and he's playing the weirdest deck I can possibly think of, Darkrai Absol Garbodor. This isn't your traditional Sableye Hammers Garbodor deck, although it did run 1 Enhanced Hammer. No. This is just standard Darkrai Absol with Garbodor thrown in there, and some Switch of course. He told me before the match that the deck isn't very consistent, apparently it ran 12 supporters plus Dowsing. And what do you know, he's drawing fine and I'm drawing dead. But after a few turns, I start to pick up some steam, and he, well, just doesn't draw anything. For those of you who don't know, Warren ended up getting 2nd place at the same Nationals, so congratulations to him for doing so well with this odd deck. 6-1. So that ends day 1, and I'm 6-1. Even though it looks like I've secured top cut, I lost round 1, so my resistance is still pretty bad. Even though Ian from round 1 and Oren are doing well, none of my other opponents are. Day 2, I rush to see my pairings, and I'm facing Spencer. I ask around the other tables and find out he's playing Orange deck, but with Terrakion. I'm also told he's a stacker, which I dismiss, and I'm shuffling everyone's deck anyway. But what do you know, once he gets there and starts shuffling up, he stops and decomps his deck midway through shuffling. I call a judge, and they don't seem to care, but what the heck is the point of shuffling and then decomping? Whatever. I start... and he starts Sableye and Terrakion. He's forced to bench another Terrakion before a Juniper, and when I start getting Darkrai's and Absols pumped up, I take great care to not knock out anything. I put 100 damage on both Terrakions, as well as 120 on a Darkrai, and 90 on another Darkrai. He still doesn't have Garbodor up, and he even Junipers away some Trubbishes, so I'm good on that front. At one point, he has to Juniper 3 catchers away. Blah. He's also been hitting me with a Night Spear or two, which I Gold Potion away one of them to make him have to retaliate or Land Crush it to death. He benches a third Terrakion and puts an energy on it, which puts all of them at 1 energy. I start to get a bit overboard with the conservative knockouts and hit the third Terrakion for 90, and hit the Darkrai with 120. He attaches any energy switches to the Terrakion and finally Land Crushes his first Darkrai. I use another Darkrai to knock out his Terrakion, and another one on the bench. He attaches to the last remaining Terrakion and retaliates my Darkrai. I have no Darkrai's left, and my Keldeo doesn't have much, if any, damage, so he can't win next turn. I also have 2 Absols power up, so all I need to do is hit 2 catchers in the next 2 turns. I hit the first one, he knocks out the Absol, and I'm able to hit the last catcher for the game. Finally, another good game. Yes, I'm in top cut. This last match I can just relax and hopefully win too. Round 9 was against another person I can't remember with Plasma. Oh yeah, Plasma. I can't believe I haven't faced one of these yet. Long story short, he doesn't draw anything, and I take my 6 prizes easily. I must say, he laid out his Pokemon quite nicely for me to get a lot of knockouts with Night Spear's bench damage. Almost like he was trying to lose. Well, he was in cut anyway, just like me, and he may have just wanted to get lunch quickly or something after he realized there was no hope for him in that game. So pairings go up, and I'm 8th seed, second worst of 8 and 1s. Good thing I won one of my last matches. So top 64 starts, and I'm against Cole Gore, I don't know how to pronounce that, with Plasma. Sorry if the match description is lacking in detail, but not too much remarkable happened, so they all kind of blend together. The first game was a fairly standard Plasma vs Darkrai matchup. When I play Enhanced Hammer, I make a small misplay and get rid of the blend on Thundurus instead of an energy on his Kyurem with 2 energy. He eventually just overpowers me. Game 2 he draws very poorly and never gets going. Game 3 he attaches to his Thundurus and Raiden Knuckles with 1 Deoxys. No supporter. I attach it to Darkrai and pass. No supporter. He plays Energy, 2 Colress Machine, Juniper, and suddenly I'm being hit by a turn 2 Thunderous Noise. I draw a supporter and get some stuff going, eventually killing the Thundurus. With all those resources gone, he doesn't power up many more attackers, and I start to mount a comeback. Eventually, I'm down 3 prizes, and he's down to 1. I end him, and KO Samiek. I draw the last catcher I need for the win off my prizes. He needs a catcher and an energy for the win. Off his 1 card plus top deck, he plays Energy and Juniper. Oh boy, this is the difference between moving on and going home. I'm at the edge of my seat, and he whiffs. Whew, my god, he had 2 catches left. So, yeah, that's pretty much game over for him. Top 32 was against someone else I can't remember with Plasma. Again, can't remember much of these games. Game 1, he goes all out with Kyurems and takes an early lead. I'm able to take down the Kyurems, and he needs to power up another one to start doing real damage again. I make some plays with Catcher and Night Spear to take my prizes before I have to deal with the Kyurem again. Game 2, I draw completely dead. Absolutely nothing to work with. Game 3, I start up with just a Sableye active, even after playing a supporter. He started Thundurus, he gets a blend, Laser, Deoxys, then plays Juniper. All he can hit was 1 Deoxys, so he hits for 60. I play an N and hit a Darkrai, but no supporter. I have Random Receiver in the discard, but my Sableye's poisoned, so it dies going into his turn. I can either sacrifice the Sableye for a supporter, or send up Darkrai and pass. I choose to send up Darkrai and pass. He catches and KOs the Sableye, and what do you know, I'm without a supporter again. I draw nothing, turn after turn, just some basics to prolong the inevitable. Nothing I can do, and my Nationals run is over. If I just junk hunted for that Random Receiver, I might have had a chance. I was risking too much on the top deck, and for what? 60 damage on my Darkrai? Well, it happens. I'm just lucky I made it that far in the first place. For those of you who remember, there's also a last chance for championship points tournament that takes place the day after Nationals. For those of you who don't know, the last chance for championship points tournament will have 256 Masters and 128 seniors and juniors each, and will be single elimination and best of one. This is the list of what points are rewarded for the tournament. After Nationals, I have 346 points, so I'll need to get top 8 to get an invite. It will be a lot of rounds, so let's get started. I changed one card of my deck before the tournament, and that was changing Gold Potion to Computer Search. Even though I still like Gold Potion, I was bummed out about drawing dead twice in a row, so I thought adding something else that gets supporters would decrease the chances of that happening. Round 1 was against someone I can't remember with Plasma, what do you know? I've played so many games against Plasma within days 2 and 3 of my Nationals that I can't remember much from any of them. She starts Kyurem to my Sableye. She goes first, she plays Prism, Colors, Machine, Laser, Deoxys, and Juniper. What? But thankfully, she misses the donk, and I get to live another turn. I can't remember much from this game, but at the end, time is called, and I'm turn 0. She has 1 prize left to my 4. She has a Kyurem active with 1 Water and 1 Prism, a Thundurus on the bench with 120, a Deoxys on the bench with 60, and another Deoxys with nothing on it, among other pointless things that aren't more Deoxys. I have a Sableye on the bench, a Darkrai active with 3 energy and a Dark Claw, and a Keldeo with an energy, along with other pointless stuff on my bench. I play an N, and hit a Catcher. I have a choice here. I can either Catcher the Deoxys with 60 on it and knock it out, and put 30 on the Thundurus, giving me the win if she doesn't have the win. Or I could Catcher the clean Deoxys, and hit that and the Thundurus with Night Spear. This is my last Catcher, so if she hits a Switch, or Floatstone, or Keldeo, I lose. If I go with option 1, she needs an energy and a Catcher to win. If I go with option 2, she needs a Switch, Floatstone, or Keldeo to win. She's played 3 Catchers, I think about 5 colored energy, 2 Switch, a Scramble Switch, and a Max Potion so far. Before hearing what I did and what she has off the end, think about what you would do. I'd love to hear what you think the correct play is. Alright, I hope you thought about it. What I do is I Catcher the Deoxys with the damage, knock it out, and hit the Thundurus for 30. After she draws, she plays Catcher and Colors for 7 or so, and she hit the energy. And she told me after the game that she didn't hit a Keldeo, a Switch, or a Floatstone. Honestly, I still think I made the correct play. It was much more likely that she hit a switching card than her last laser and an energy, but that's just how things go sometimes. So that's it, folks. No World's Invite for me, and no, I'm not going to the Last Chance qualifier.
And that's it for today's Back to Reality episode. Next time on Back to Reality will be a long time from now. It'll probably be, I don't know about not a long time, but it'll probably be a review on the Virizion Genesect deck, or which I like to call it Virgin. Get it? Virizion Genesect. Take the beginnings of both of them. Virgin. Hilarious. So yeah, that will be the next mix-up episode. Or if there's the next Back to Reality, the next mix-up will be a review on... No, the next mix-up will be look at my Zekrom Electric Boufflant deck that I almost played at Nationals, and then after that will be a review of Plasma Blast. So check those out once they are released. And as for Nationals, as I said, I had a lot of fun. I met so many great people there. Poke Beach. I even met the writer of 6 prizes, and got one of those little dice. Actually, let me get 6 prizes dice. It's in here somewhere. Let's see. Look, 6 prizes. See, isn't that awesome? Adam, nice guy he is. And also, of course, I also met Jay Witz and Kyle Sukovich, which is, of course, a pleasure to meet those guys. Both awesome, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Nationals, definitely, if you have the chance, you should go to it. And if you were there, I had some people say hi to me, so if you're there, hi to you again. Thanks for saying hi to me. And if, you should definitely come next year, because it's just a really fun event. So many great people there. Just awesome. More Pokemon. It's awesome. So yeah, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.